In this video, we're going to be solving equations where we have variables on both sides, where we have fractions involved, where we start with or we end up with brackets, and of course there's negatives all over the place as well. So the key with dealing with equations which have fractions in it, especially as they get more difficult, is multiplying in order to make those fractions, make those denominators disappear. So this over 3, this divide by 3, I want rid of that straight away. So the nice thing about equations is if you want rid of something, you just do whatever is the opposite to that thing. So we have a divide by 3. I multiply by 3. Of course, I've got to make sure I do it to the left-hand side as well. If I multiply both of those terms on the left by 3, I will get 3x minus 30. And on the right-hand side, that divide 3 is now gone. So I'm just left with x. Now I can look to try and get all the letters on one side. We have 3x on the left, 1x on the right. So I want to get rid of the 1x on the right because there's less of them there. Means I'll avoid any negative x terms. That will then give us 2x, take away 30, and we'll be left with nothing on the right-hand side. We're then going to add 30 to both sides as part of getting the x by itself. We have to get rid of it before we get rid of the 2 because of the fact that it's further away. So we end up with 2x equals 30, and then divide both sides by 2. We end up with x is 15. For the second one, exactly the same situation as before. We want to get rid of the fractions. We want to get rid of that denominator. So over 3, again, I'm going to multiply everything by 3. Do the same on the right-hand side. What we'll end up with now on the left, that denominator is gone, so you will just have the 5x plus 3 in the top. No need to multiply it by 3 because you technically already did multiply that by 3. As soon as you cancel out that denominator, you're done as far as that goes. On the right-hand side, the 2x will become a 6x, and the 7 becomes a 21. Now let's look to see which side has got the more x's, this one. So I want to get rid of that 5x. So I'm going to take away 5x from both sides. While I'm at it, because of the fact that we're wanting the letters on the right, I'm going to get rid of the numbers, or get rid of the numbers on the right so that they pop up on the left. So I'm going to take away 21 from both sides as well. So 2 for the price of 1 here. That's going to end up leaving just a negative 18 on the left and a single x on the right. Done. Next one. Again, we've got this denominator we want to get rid of, this over x. So I'm going to multiply both sides by x. Doesn't matter if you've got a number in the bottom or a letter term or a combination, you want rid of that fraction. Once you get rid of that fraction, the equation becomes easier by default. So all that's left on the left is 8 with that bracket. The right-hand side is now 22 times x, so it becomes 22x. Now we break out our brackets. And then we want to get all the letters on the same side, so we get rid of the ones that's smaller, so we want to get rid of that 22x. While we're at it, because we want the letters on the left, let's also add 8 to make this disappear. So we have plus 8 on both sides. Then we're going to end up with 2x left over on the left and an 8 on the right. Divide both sides by 2, and we get x is 4. Next one, the denominator is a little bit more complicated here, but it's still the same thing in principle. We have this fraction, this denominator that we need to multiply both sides by in order to make that fraction disappear. So if we multiply the left-hand side and right-hand side, both of them by this x plus 3, careful with the brackets because we need them. It's the whole of the bottom, the whole of x plus 3 that we need to multiply both sides by. That will then cancel there, leaving us with just what was on the top, 5x plus 6. On the right-hand side, you can take a line here. We are doing 4 times x plus 3. So that 4 is going to multiply both of those terms. If we break that bracket out, we're going to end up with 4x plus 12. And then there's more x's on the left, so we want to get rid of them on the right. And while we're at it, let's get rid of the numbers on the left because we want them on the right. So that leaves us with a single x on the left, and it will leave us with a 6 on the right. Done.